Donnie B, GotDaBeats.
What's good, everybody? It's Donnie B, GotDaBeats. We live on the latest edition of The Beat. Thank you, guys, man. Season 6 has been a blast. This whole run has been a blast. Like I said, this is the COVID pivot that keeps pivoting, and I'm so elated to go into Season 7 strong. But you know how it do. I got to find the dopest talent and the dopest individuals to bring out to y'all. And tonight's talent, I had to go out with a bang. This brother he's so charismatic. He's so just, he's a personality. He's everything. But you know what time it is.
Yeah,
it's time for that glorious intro, y'all. Here we go. So listen, guys, like I said, I can try to find out the dopest talent that I can find. So this brother, I met in my travels because I travel quite a bit, and I met him Grammy weekend 2023. He came out here. He messed with the
Hollywood.
The previous guy that we had out here, Kev Advance. Shout out to Kev Adventures. And
Dojo brother, in the building.
Dojo is in the building, and they was definitely
that's the Dojo fan right there.
Yeah, they were in the building and representing in Hollywood. This brother right here, I love his energy. I love his talent. Everything about him is crazy, bro. So, and I mean that in the most affectionate way possible.
Literally, bro. I'm going nuts out here in the East Coast, driving me crazy. That New York State of Mind shit is crazy. That's why I had to get back to LA real quick. Now I'm back out here real quick. But yeah, I'm glad to be back with you on here. So we ready to go. We ready. We out here.
We ready to go. So with that being said, we got Sirspits, the international recording artist and founder of @dojohiphop.
Yes, sir. dojohiphop.com in the building. You already know. Type shit. So you already know. First question I gotta ask: what do you think of that CD I gave you on the first interview? Type shit, because that shit was raw littiness.
Hey, listen, you can't get no shit like that except in the Northeast, bro. That's all I'm gonna say to you. And that's
word up. That's what I'm going for.
So that's indigenous to that region, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Northeast. I love
Dojo in the building. All the Dojo fam on that project. You know what I'm saying? Omega Jackson produced that. All my Dojo artists who I had on the Dojo podcast holding it down. That shit was a classic right there, underground classic. Now I'm going for my next classic.
The thing I'm gonna say is this, and I'm gonna add to this, and just this, so people know that I ain't forgot you. It's the authenticity. I love the fact that everything on that joint felt real. It wasn't about it being. It didn't feel like a lot of this cultured, overproduced shit that's out on online these days, man. Like music is different. You know what I mean? When you hear real shit, you understand and recognize what it is. So make sure y'all pick that up. But we're gonna talk about that a little
originality and versatility, but you know about that. But also paying homage to the OGs I mentioned earlier in the past interview. Peep that as well. You already know what I'm saying? That shit gonna be litty. Shit already streamed live. We streaming live again. You know what I'm saying? East Coast to West Coast, West Coast to East Coast connection. We out here, like I told you.
Facts that.
All right, yeah, there. So what you want to know?
How you doing, bro? Let's start off the rip. How you doing out there? You in the Northeast right now, right?
Yeah, I'm back home in the Lost Borough, Yonkers, New York. You already know. Surviving on the gritty shit. Griminess over here, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to stay alive out here. Wishing I was out there still, you know what I'm saying? But, I had to come back home. NY will always be home type shit, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, actually on that boycott joint you about to play type shit, I mentioned, I don't know, I'll let y'all hear it when you hear it. I ain't gonna recite it so I could not fuck it up anyway. But when I talk about, you know what I'm saying, the New York and the Yonkers shit, you'll see what I say on that joint. Shout out to my man Illa Shaz. Shout out to all my peoples who I collab with and all my, you know what I'm saying, my features and my international peeps that I fucking got. All these collabs that I just dropped recently. I got like 3 tracks out right now. So dojohiphop.com and going in as usual. What else you expect? Sir Spits in the building.
I gotta say, man, first of all, I miss this energy. Because people, like I said, going west, people don't understand what it's like coming from the east. Yo. The east, I love the fact that this is what I'm gonna zone in on for you, Spitz. Like, the fact that you do the plug, every fucking thing moving. They don't do that out here, yo. And
they're more laid back. They more laid back with it, but I don't know. I guess it's all in moderation. I guess they too extreme one way, and on the other end, they're too extreme the other way. So it's like I'm trying to be more extreme in certain situations. There's a time and place for everything, but you know what I'm saying, when I'm trying to showcase myself, especially during a performance, I try to do high energy. You know, try to keep it exciting and try to get attention when possible, especially when I'm, of course, spitting my bars and when I'm making my music and dropping my rhymes type shit and these classic dojo jams.
And I love that. And that's the thing is, and so the reason why I said that is because I not sure if you, I think we talked about that in the previous interview when you was out here in Hollywood. Like I'm a previous artist myself. As a matter of fact, I'm still an artist, but that's neither here nor there. But
yes, sir.
You know, when I was doing it back in the day, that was it. Or I was plugging everything, moving. As soon as I got the mic, give me the mic, bro. Give me the mic. And then,
exactly.
Everything you gotta plug everything, so that's why I was like, I miss that energy. That's why. So
you gotta paint pictures with words, and you be painting these pictures with these stories with these artists and with your visuals. So that's why you got your art going on right here. But yeah, like you were saying, like West Coast moves different. Like I could tell out there, I got a lot of trouble out there and a lot of hijinks and mischief out there. And like I just realized that they wasn't ready for all this energy. Like you know what I'm saying, I must have felt like DMX to them or something out there. But I guess it's like Yonkers Lost Borough energy. It's like I said, that New York shit. I guess it's the fluoride they put in the water out here is a little different than they put over there. They put fentanyl and they put crack in our shit, so that's why I guess it's a little different. Plus, I guess the weather is a little the weather has a lot to do with it. It's fucking litty over there all day over there, like, and it's nice and cool at night. Like it's perfect out there. Over here it's just whack all day long. And we only got like 1 or 2 months type shit tops that is fucking actually enjoyable. So that's why I'd rather be struggling and surviving out there rather than chilling out here type shit. But I had to come back, like I said, handle some biz out here. But yeah, like I could tell that they wasn't ready for my energy when I was on stage out there. We opened up we had 3 different venues and shows out there that whole weekend, and that first show was the one that we had that first interview with you. I'm not sure if you caught any of the performances. I think I was on last for that cypher we did. But yeah, that whole weekend was litty with performances. But that last interview we did, where we opened up for Streets from BSF from Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, at the very end, I grabbed the mic and I was just spinning the craziest bars ever, and like they was not ready for that. They were like, "Oh shit!" They're like, "Oh shit! You must be from the East Coast type shit. Like you must be from Yonkers or something like that." I'm like, "Yo, you already know," because like I just be on some extra shit, especially if I be smoking, drinking, chilling and shit. Like that was my element right there.
Hey, but the young got different kind of energy anyway. First of all, even in the boroughs, out of the boroughs, the young got different energy. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm not from New York. I'm from DC, but my family from the tri-state, all of the tri-state. So all those
metropolitan area right here. We all out here. We out here.
Yeah.
Regardless, we still got that cold ass weather. So that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. But
it's fucking Brick City right now.
Well, I don't miss that shit. I'm gonna tell you flat out.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's early over there, like you chilling, sipping right now. I'm fucking, you know what I'm saying, going through it at the late hour right now, fucking making sure that no one fucking robs my shit. Nah, I'm messing with you. But yeah, we out here.
Facts. Well, let's get into this, man. Let's get into this so people get the feels for who you are, Spitz.
Yes, sir.
The first question I always lead with, so people get to understand, and then we can take it back. So people get understand who you are. Just let everybody out there know just who is Sirspits. What's your brand about? What you about? Where you come from, bro?
Got you. Sirspits. Sirspits actually stands for Skills is Real, Spit Pills in Trill Situations, which a lot of people don't even know that. It's like an acronym. So actually, a lot of times I capitalize it. So basically, I mean, that just stands for whatever you imagine it could stand for. And like, it basically obviously means I be spitting, you know what I'm saying, and I'm royalty type shit. I'll make sure my phone don't die. Okay, there you go. Yeah, like so. Also, Dojo Hip Hop. That's my brand and my label that I created. First, it was a podcast. I had like 42 different episodes of all underground artists from around the area. A whole bunch from Yonkers, Lost Borough, of course, and a whole bunch from the Bronx and surrounding areas and things like that. And I ended up getting a lot of them on my album, that classic I gave you, that you bumped and said that shit was dope. And I was like, yeah, because that's a classic. I had all different elements from Yonkers and all the tri-state area type shit on that album.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then once I did that, the last episode actually, Percy P was the series finale of the podcast. So I ended up having him on my album as well. And that's like a dope industry OG in the game that I was able to secure on my project for my debut classic project, which is a dope feat to have. Saying he held it down. He represented me. I represent him too all the time. That's why he actually had me open up for him and Lord Finesse at one of his birthday bashes he had a couple years ago.
Yeah, the OG.
So, yes, sir. Percy P in the building. Rhyme Inspector. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, I actually ended up turning, because we actually had some beef with the label, not the label, the network that we was on. So I ended up turning the podcast into a label. And then I ended up just started releasing mad music under the Dojo podcast. I mean, the Dojo label. My fault, I'm a little zooted. But yeah, like, so yeah, like, I ended up doing that. And like, ever since, I just been releasing mad jams, focusing on Dojo music as well as sirspits, solo artist music. So like, I just be doing a lot of different collabs and features with my own Dojo artists, and also a whole bunch of international artists overseas, international from, let's see, Africa, Italy, Argentina, you know what I'm saying? I would say Australia, Italy, if I didn't say that already. UK, London, you know what I'm saying? That's where my producer is located on my new album that's dropping soon, hopefully this year. It's called Cannon Spit, so his name is Human Cannon. So, you know what I'm saying? He's been holding it down for a lot of Dojo projects. So just a whole bunch of, and of course, a lot of local artists from all across America, everything like that. Shout out to my producer, Ariano, from the West Coast. I would have checked him out there, but he was actually recovering. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people have been going through it, you know what I'm saying, with themselves and their families and shit. So I'm just glad to be alive and surviving right now and just be, able to do what we do out here. So I just keep grinding and surviving. That's about it. That's what I'm doing right now.
Well, listen, you gave him a mouthful, and I appreciate it. It definitely, you accomplished a lot, and that's necessary, because people, y'all need to get no spits for sure. This brother be on one 10 times out of 10, 1,000%. But I want you to say the acronym for him one more time. Slow it down so they get it, because I didn't even know that was an acronym, and I think that's
word.
So say
word. Yeah, it's actually, if you listen to the track Syllable Sultan, I mentioned it in the first line. I said skills is real, spit pills and trill situations, and I think I said it in the grind mode cipher as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's just what it stands for. It just play on words as usual. Everything I try to do is a play on words, abstract acronyms and all that, and syllables and metaphors and soliloquies and all that crazy shit.
Entendres, bro.
Old school, yeah, exactly. Not just one, but 2, 3, 4 of them joints all compiled together and all that. Just raw school, like cannabis level, Cool G rap level shit.
Yeah, hey, but that's what I'm saying, like that, and that's the essence of hip hop. People don't understand how many times you can flip that entendre, bro. You get the doubles, the triples, the quadruples entendre. It's like that's when you know you got some real like MCs, bro. Like people that just really just know how to do their shit, yo. So
what's the problem? Like a lot of people who listen to music, they barely even be listening nowadays. They're so distracted in general, let alone when they actually listen to music, they don't really feel the need to actually dissect it like we used to and pick it apart in certain ways. And some people just take it for granted. And I know, no offense, a lot of ladies and chicks don't be, doing that as well. They don't be, really be understanding the mechanics and the technicality of the art of the shit. They just take it for granted a little bit, I feel like. So once you realize that aspect, then you could actually understand that certain artists are way more overrated than it seems, and a lot of more artists don't get enough props as they should, type shit. So it's like the balance is a little off. It's been that way for a long time in the mainstream. That's why I've been fucking with the underground so hard body. But you know what I'm saying, there's always a way to bridge the gap and try to bring it back to the essence. Shout out to my new track that I got called Golden Era, and we got a new track called Open Eyes. Like I discuss all these different topics.
Well, listen, I'm glad that you said that, and we're going to address that later on, specifically later on in the interview. I definitely love that though. And let me put a pause at it. Listen, make sure y'all like and subscribe. Follow this brother, man. Sirspits. He's on Instagram. He's on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But follow him. He's Instagram at Sirspits. He's on YouTube.
And dojohiphop.com. That's where you find everything. Because social media be doing me dirty. Like they be trying to censor me and blacklist me and banish me and all that craziness, shadow ban me. And, you know what I'm saying? So like I just try to like have my own platform just in case that happens, because otherwise they will just be able to fully just dead my shit. So I don't want to be blackballed in this industry. So that's why I had to develop my own platform.
And I love that. And you know what I'm saying? When people give you a wall, you got to walk around that fucking wall. Find a door. It's always a door. Just got to find it.
Sir.
Crazy, you know what I'm saying? But anyway,
you got to navigate it through like Neo in the Matrix, yo.
Exactly. Like I said, like, follow, subscribe to Spitz, man, and at Dojo Hip Hop on social media. So Spitz, I want to go back. Let's take it even a step further back so people can truly get to know who you are as a person, man, because you know that people need that, right? Because you out here working. But I want you to tell them, tell them what it's like growing up in the Yonk. What was it like growing up in the Yonk, man? And how did you overcome any adversities to become who you are today, the success you is?
Shit, Yonkers, the Lost Borough, as I call it. Oh, my Dojo fan texted me. Shout out to Cav Adventures. Shout out to my homie Rizzo Mercer. Dojo fam in the building. But like Yonkers is crazy. Like I call it the Lost Borough because it's like right next to the Bronx, and it's like so close to all the boroughs, but it's not technically a borough of New York City. It's technically Westchester County. So like even though Yonkers is so huge, it's like the fourth largest city. So like you got bougie parts and you got hood parts and shit like that. So like I grew up towards the moderate part type shit, and like right now I actually got copped a co-op by the casino, like you know what I'm saying, when I moved on up type shit. But I like it because it's so diverse because of how big it is, no homo, and like and like also I'm from New York. I don't play that around here. Gotta make sure to cover my bases anyways. Go ahead.
No, I was saying the 2023, you got to cover those bases, man. Real loud.
Exactly. But exactly. But I'm just being facetious. But anyways, so like, so there's different areas, like I said. So like, depending on where you go, you can get what you need to get and find what you need to find. And but like overall, though, I just noticed that Yonkers and New York, especially, is kind of on some grimy shadiness where, you know what I'm saying, people be hating on the low and everyone thinks they on some Jay-Z, Kim Kardashian shit. Meanwhile, they ain't even actually producing nothing behind, their shit. Like they just all talk, they don't back it up type shit. So they talk, but they don't walk the walk. So while others like such as myself and Dojo fam artists, we've been putting in mad work, like I said in the previous interview, with mad hits and jams on the low, you know what I'm saying, but we streaming everywhere type shit, you know what I'm saying, and we got the most consistency, the most bars, the most different versatility of different tracks, and the most, I would say the most lyrical body bag as far as just genuine bars go, and you know what I'm saying, so people need to start putting us in that category, like on the Griselda level and stuff like that, the new Wu-Tang type shit. And I'm saying, and like, I ain't just saying that because we obviously got like, it kind of sounds like I'm straying off the question, but I'll tie it back because like we got mad industry connects who be co-signing us, which is the most hilarious and ironic part, because while those people in Yonkers be hating on us low key, you know what I'm saying, and ignoring us and not giving us our necessary clout that we deserve, you know what I'm saying, we got industry cosigns that are doing just that. So that's the crazy part. Like shout out to my homie Mo Dirty, in Detroit, Midwest type shit, he's associated with Shady Records type shit, and Mr. Hyde, I mentioned Cool G Rap earlier, and shout out to Necro, Psychological Records, The Godfathers and all that, you know what I'm saying. And shout out to J Hood from D Block. Like, let's just say I got my next album gonna have a lot of star-studded hits and features, and but also a lot of old school rememberable faces you remember from the old school joint, dojo fam that I brought back from the old school days. So you're gonna reminisce on that, but also be blown away about how polished and how radio friendly this new joint gonna be though.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, hearing the jump that you blessed me with, I ain't surprised. You know what I'm saying? I want you to take it back. Like I want you to open it up for people so people can understand. For people that ain't been to the Apple, name some names that people should know or would know from the Yonkers that is transcended. You know what I mean? Because people, like you said, people always talk about Brooklyn, people talk about Queens, people talk about this and the third, but name some other people. And again, you mentioned a few. I know who they are, but I want you to pause, compartmentalize, and be like, "Yo, these are people that you wouldn't know that came from Yonkers." So that way, that people can be like, "Oh, okay, that's what it is."
Yes, sir. Let's see. Hold up, my phone. I gotta turn my phone real quick. But yeah, like I would say the only person that I mentioned thus far from the list from Yonkers was J Hood, I believe. Okay. So he obviously from D Block, from the legendary D Block, saying if you don't know D Block, then you don't know real hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Obviously legendary hip hop group from the 90s type shit. And basically him, and of course D Block, who obviously where they came from, the Locks, you know what I'm saying, signed the D Block and all that, and created and founded that group. So obviously you got Styles, Sheik, and Jada. Yep. You know what I'm saying, from Yonkers, Lost Borough. Also RIP DMX. That's why I guess ever since he passed away, I've been trying to carry on his essence and his energy type shit. Because I especially noticed, like you said, a lot of West Coast and I especially noticed a lot of young cats are just more reserved nowadays. Like I'm trying to be like, yo, especially when it comes to music and performances, you gotta bring that energy. So DMX, RIP him, like he was the essence of that. And you know what I'm saying? Plus, he dabbled with certain drugs and shit like that, brought that extra shit out of him. So you know what I'm saying, I don't go to that level, but I go, you know what I'm saying, as far as I need to make sure I need to, you know what I'm saying, been able to perform and you know what I'm saying, bring that necessary, you know what I'm saying, energy and aesthetic out and all that. So I do it that way. Who else? I know, actually, yeah, Mary J. Blige, obviously, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. And if you're a rock fan, Aerosmith actually went to the same high school I went to and all that. So it's just a very popular place, but at the same time, people think it's upstate when it's really not. You know what I'm saying? It's only like, I literally live like 5 minutes from the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? So like the casino's right over here, you know what I'm saying? Cross County and all that. So shout out to Yonkers. If you're from around here, you know where that is. You know what I'm saying? It'll always be my home, but I'm definitely, well, I got my passport popping, but the pandemic kind of stifled that shit. So like that's why I've been trying to hop around America as much as possible before it's finally opening up now and shit. So I'm gonna finally start getting it popping again and probably try to go to all the countries that I did a lot of features with. So like I said, Brazil, you know what I'm saying, Australia, London, Canada, all those places, bro.
I love it. I love it. And thank you for that. Because again, people need to understand that, and some of the most in my opinion, underheralded and underappreciated artists. I mean, you talk about the Queen, Mary J. Blige was just in the Super Bowl with Dr. Dre. Like that was one of it got a freaking award as one of a programmer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, the Jadakiss in the Locks is one of one of the most underrated lyricists of all time. Jadakiss, you know what I mean? Like it is just
exactly. So like if you watch that verses, they did with Dipset and the Locks, you know what I'm saying? You'll see who the real lyricists were, and guess what? They're from Yonkers, bro.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's all I gotta say. Lost Borough in the building, held that down.
Exactly. And so, like you said, you carrying that torch, so we already know what time it is. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to.
And regardless who you think won the DMX versus Snoop Dogg, like you know what I'm saying, is probably more even that one. And they both legends in their own right. I'm gonna have to go with obviously DMX, you know, the hometown hero over here, you know what I'm saying? But regardless, like Snoop Dogg is literally one of the most iconic, like at this point, like he's one of the most iconic people, like let alone rap in general, just people at this particular moment. And now he's like the owner of Death Row and all that. So like just the privilege of someone from Yonkers going up against him, and, you know, going head to head with him, and, you know what I'm saying, and debatably even coming out on top, like that's just a honor and a privilege in general. So shout out to all these legends holding it down. And I'm just trying to, you know, follow in their image, and I'm cut from their cloth, so they paved the way. So I'm just trying to do the damn thing and just, you know, carry on tradition. So hopefully they can, you know, recognize that, and, you know, I'm shouting them out so they can hold us down, you know what I'm saying, when time comes type shit. So we're gonna get it litty.
Exactly. So I'm gonna push forward. Like I said, pause. Make sure you guys, as I said earlier, like, follow, subscribe, Dojo Hip Hop on social media. Like, follow, subscribe, Spits on social media as well. Now, Spits, I want to get to a pertinent question. How did you get into the music industry? Like, like, what was it like? Obviously, you came from the borough. I'm sure music had to be, you know, coming in through the fucking walls. How did you? What was that moment where you was like, holy shit, like this is your moment. You got your opportunity. You in the industry, and you were like, yo, it's my time.
Well, first I started off like as more of a hobby, obviously. Then like I just worked my way into it. No homo, nah. Anyways, like, and then I proceeded, like, I made like a few underground mixtapes back in the day, and they were like mad lyrical and crazy with my friends and my homies and all that. And then cause I didn't like at the time I didn't like where the direction hip hop was going, especially like stylistically with the laziness with the bars and just like no substance, and just all cosmetic and just, you know, all just you know, superficial bullshit type shit. So like that's why I was like so raw back in the day, no homo, that like I would say like fuck hooks, like fuck everything, just raw rhymes, like on some cannabis fucking 1,000 bar type shit. So like, but that's again, you asked me why my name is Sirspits, so that's another reason, like I just be spitting my ass off, like that's my core quality. But as I've matured as an artist, and like to go more into your question, like when I more officially became an artist was when I started taking it more seriously, and that's when I started actually putting more money investing into my craft and all that, and I got my neighbors and shit trying to fucking pull up on me and all that, making sure on the block that they good. All right. Yeah, so make sure nothing go down out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so as I started doing that, I started polishing my craft on the business tip as well as on the artistic tip. So just sharpening my pen and just working with other artists, you know, steel sharpen steel type shit, and real recognize real, like the wheels of mechanized steel, like MF Doom type shit. Like MF Doom, as I mentioned in my previous interview, was one of my you know, go-to artists to listen to. So like he's one of my goats right there. So you could tell like I try to be like him and shit when in my craft. You could hear it. I'm influenced by him and Royce the 5'9", who I also mentioned. So you could tell by that. So like once I realized I could actually kind of not mimic like bite their shit, but like to, you know, keep up and to reflect the similar craft of writing and building and, you know, compound rhyme schemes and things like that, like, and just multisyllabic, you know, entendres and all that crazy shit. So like once I started perfecting that, I was like, fuck it, let me just try to push it and see how hard I could go with it, no homo. So like and like I was blessed to have a lot of people around me who was able to do the same thing, and like we pushed our pens, and me and my dojo fam just took it to the next level. And that's what I said, we took it from the podcast to the label and started producing mad hits and shit. So all I know is it's all about progression and elevation. So we just kept it going and going and going. So like I'm not going to ever like backtrack, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's all about progression, like I said. So like it's all about getting better and like and doing something different. Like I'm not going to make the same song twice and 3 times or 4 times. Like if I did something, I'm move on to the next one. I'm more one and done to keep it more versatile and keep myself more fresh and give myself more time to explore other different types of, different types of versatility, in my opinion.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And I gotta shout out, RP MF Doom. He has, that one of his singles is one of my favorite, top 10, top 20 all time. It depends on how I feel. But Hoe Cakes, love Hoe Cakes. One of my favorite songs all time. Period.
Food. That's what I'm saying. Like classic shit like that, like bringing shit like that, more artistic and abstract shit. That's what I started. Because like obviously when you start off as something, you're gonna try to go off of who you're influenced by, like your idols and shit like that. And like I said, you're not really biting them. I discussed this on like a different interviews and podcasts and shit, and my own podcast, the Dojo podcast, all the time, just talking about how like there's a difference between biting and just having influence from your favorite artists, and like building and creating your own shit off of that. And that's exactly what I did with my shit. So like as I started doing that and realizing I got my own shit going on with my my iconic play on words and the way and my style and my symbolism and my logo and basically the person that my entity, like the whole entity of Sirspits and who I created myself to be, like I got that shit popping. So I was like, fuck it, I might as well roll with it. Like it's just like it's not a character, it's just more like identity, basically. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm with it.
And that's what I roll with. So like at this point, after I released, as soon as I released that classic album, I was like, I already got a classic, I might as well take it to the next level and see who else I could work with. So like I started making mad features and collabs all over the world, internationally, overseas, and branching out. And so I'm like, it's time for another album. So I'm gonna try to get some industry dudes on this and just do a lot of hard work and networking and just, freestyling and just going to shows and online networking and social media, all that stuff. I just was able to secure a lot of high profile clientele of artists, who fuck with me, because like I said, real recognizes real. So, I'm saying, a lot of people, they recognize, like they'll be like, dick riders and fucking try to clout chase them, but they realize that I'm more genuine with it. I actually, cut from their cloth. I actually appreciate what they've done, and I'm trying to expand and take what they've done and do my version of that shit, basically. But I'm not trying to take what they've done and use it as a stepping stool, like a lot of people, or trying to take it and shit all over it and like try to just skew that shit into a whole new thing that is the opposite of what it was intended to be.
Right.
So then that's exactly what I think is being pushed on nowadays.
I can't even vote for it, and I definitely I agree with you in a lot of instances with your regard with it. So totally fair. Now, like you mentioned your single that just came out. I want to get to that so people can get an understanding, get a feel for what it is that you bring to the table, and your song selection and how you curate and how you create this imagery that you put out. So I want you to talk a little bit about your single that just came out, the Boycott. Would you tell everybody a little bit about Boycott and how that came to be, and then we'll let people listen.
Yes, sir. So my boy from Ghana, shout out to Illa Chaz. He's a dope artist from out there. You know what I'm saying? I worked with a few African artists already at this time, but he was the latest that I fuck with. I just noticed him online, and he been performing a lot of dope shows, and I liked his speaking of energy, like DMX and stuff like that. He has like that Busta Rhymes, like raw DMX intensity, especially when he performs. And if you notice on the track, you'll hear for sure his intensity, and it matches the concept. But basically, my homie Illa Chaz, he asked me to be on a track with him and his boy Jay Cutlass from Conspiracy Camp, another dope ass clique from around here who makes underground raw style music, and they're more like conspiracy based as well, talking that real woke shit and not that fake woke shit, but that real woke shit, that red pill shit. So like that's why. So like the concept of this song basically is about, you know what I'm saying, rejecting all the crazy propaganda and all the crazy regulations and laws and rules that they're trying to push on us to slave us and to enforce us and lock us down and just to take power and control over us. So like that's why it's called Boycott. And on the picture, and shout out to my designer, I always have the most poppin' cover arts for my singles, because I feel like if you have a dope ass song, you should have a matching cover art and or matching music video to go with it. But it has to match the caliber and feel and vibe of the actual track itself. Otherwise, it kind of defeats the purpose. So like you'll notice that on that track, obviously you have some chick holding up like a big banner that says boycott on it with like a whole bunch of people rushing her or something like that. So like that is basically what's going on. Like you kind of have to stand out from the crowd and go against the grain, and because a lot of people and sheeple are brainwashed with a lot of the propaganda and indoctrination that's being pushed on us. So we have to, and it's cold out here, my fault, I'm fucking shivering, but yeah, like that's like New York shit. But yeah, like, so we're just trying to go against all that shit and go back to more natural way of living, like more freedom, how America was supposed to be based on that. They fucking corrupted that whole shit and made it into some prison planet lockdown shit, especially since the pandemic and all these false flag incidents making it even worse. So they're trying to just control us. And that's exactly what they've been doing since the pandemic, the past few years, even worse, trying to literally enslave us and force inoculate us. So what I talk about, all our verses in the track, we're all talking about some real woke shit about all the agendas they're trying to fucking do to us. So if you listen to all the bars, like a typical listener would not be able to pick up on everything we're saying, but that's why you got a real hip-hop listener has to decipher them bars and decipher what we're talking about, and then you hear exactly what we're talking about, and then you'll be woke. It's like taking verbal mushrooms or something, and verbal DMT. Word. Dimethyltryptamine shit.
Exactly what he just said. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to bring on the brother right here, Sirspits, latest single, and I want y'all to pay attention to what he's talking about. Check this out. Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Stop playing.
See, they're trying to boycott my boycott.
Yeah.
I told you, bro. What the fuck?
Here we go. Don't worry about it. Just give it a second. It should. Hold on. Yeah. Boom. Boom.
So listen to what I said. That's why I say fuck Mark Zuckerberg and fuck all these people trying to hate on my shit. That's why TikTok banned my shit in 10 minutes, bro.
That's crazy.
It's that Matrix shit, yo. They know they're onto us. We onto them and they onto us. No more. For sure.
Hold on. Let's see if I can work around the system. Hang on a second.
We streaming everywhere and we still can't get played nowhere. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Give it a second. All right. Here we go. We're going to go another way. Here we go. Watch this.
Yes, sir. We got mad options out here. There's always dojohiphop.com. There's Spotify. There's Bandcamp. I like Bandcamp because Bandcamp has no bullshit.
All right, here we go. Hang on. You're gonna remove that. And then
Apple, communist China hating on me. Communist China to be hating on Dojo. That's why they don't have our app on there. That's why we have the app on Amazon App Store, but they don't have our app on that shit.
I got it. Here we go.
All right, YouTube is cool. That's my homie Ellis Shaz in the building.
I'm not buying cigarette now, son. Boycott, throwing bones, oxygen ultraviolet, I live for a seat. I ain't worshiping Seraphim, so destroy image of all if God conceive. From a face fuck up with your bullet Christianity.
Hold on.
It's only while me be weak of discipline. Allah, I am falling down on my knees, no way. I believe in your freak of secrecy. Giving sent to the
So, okay. So yeah, we run.
Yo, he just hit me up on Facebook. Shout out to Ellis Shaz.
Shout out to Ellis Shaz. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for this, man. Like,
they trying to take us down. Fuck that.
Yeah, listen, because this is crazy. I had two totally different forms, and I had them both. It was playing early, and now they're not playing it. And it is, trust me, I haven't checked out these they come. Check the mute. What's going on?
Roll out of genocide. You love to see dying figure it. The brother knockers on me now, but just in process, you know, candy. I'm not buying cigarette now, sorry. Boycott, don't want bones. Actually, not your violence, I live for a seat.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to bring you back for sure.
Yes,
we was already talking part 2. So part 2, we'll give you more of a showcase. And I'm for that. That we give you, not just that, we're going to give you a couple other joints to play too as well. All right. So
yes, sir. Yeah, we got mad hits. One ain't enough, bro. We got the Dojo discography is deep.
So again, my apologies for those because I know people you're probably chomping at the bit to hear this stuff, and it pains me to not be able to give you that, but we're gonna bring that back.
That's what I'm saying, yo. They targeting us, bro. That's why we need to boycott them. They trying to hit on us and boycott us. Fuck them. It's a free country supposedly. So I'm a human. They ain't trying to stifle my shit. Well, we out here, Dojo in the building.
I tell you what, and you hear it first. I'll send you my text message, my email account. Just send me the files. You send me the files. I can control the audio and I can control everything from that point. But
exactly, we can't let them control us. We gotta do the controlling and ownership, bro.
That's
they
crazy.
Streaming our shit and holding out, and they be hating.
That's crazy. Well, let's pivot anyway. I don't want to lose no time because your story is something that needs to be told. So I want to ask you.
Good looking, bro. I appreciate you.
Of course, bro. Of course, man. This is what we do, man. This is what we do. I want to ask you, as an artist, as an entrepreneur, even though the question says recording a successful international recording artist, which I should have put in there, just how hard is it to be a successful international recording artist? On top of that, label owner, podcast host, entrepreneur in general.
I feel like two different questions as far as international and successful, because international, you know what I'm saying, is kind of easy because social media makes it so that you can talk to anyone and anywhere at any time type shit. So theoretically, you know what I'm saying, you could go, even if it's a low quality production, you know what I'm saying, you could get a collab track going with a couple homies from different parts of the people all over the globe and make a We Are the World type record type shit if you really wanted to. But I'm saying, as far as being successful with it, though, like that's a much harder part, because just successful in general, regardless of being international or even successful in the block or in your hood type shit, like that involves a lot of politics and a lot of different variables as far as, you know what I'm saying, certain gimmicks and certain, you know what I'm saying, and levels of selling out and shit like that. How willing you are to play the game of the system and that we mentioned in the boycott, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the games that they play, you know what I'm saying, the quid pro quo that be going on under the table deals and on these radio stations and stuff like that. That's why you keep hearing the same artists all the time and hearing the same tracks all the time, because they got it on lock. You know what I'm saying? It's all paid for type shit because money runs the world. But you gotta remember, the love of money is the root of all evil. So you just gotta go with what's right and what's good and what you know what I'm saying, what's dope, not what is just fucking paid for and just doing it because you selling out type shit. Like that's what hip hop stood against at first, fight the power type shit, and now we just all up in that fucking rolling in the power type shit, like, you know, wearing Gucci and all that weird shit after we saying this racist type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy.
Right. I mean, that makes a ton of sense. Hold up. Guess what happened? I got it.
Oh, we boycotted them.
Yeah, I got it. So
let's
figure that shit out and get it to you. So let's pause. Let's put a segment in it. We're gonna bring that back just so people can witness this.
Bring that back.
We're gonna bring you back.
Boycott.
Booyaka. We still gonna here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Boycott. Illashaz, Jay Cutlass, and Sir Spits again. Bring this video back to visual so we can get it. Here we go.
Mama.
Witness the strength of street knowledge. I live in Kakalika and Kwakwe. Before I give up my manhood for some shit I'm not willing to face. Genetically modified me, great on life. I'm not feeling to taste, no gain, no drink. Invoke higher frequency of touch, your voice, and I'm not touching. So strength of my mind stays unaffected by your untrust to overcome a black factor. Next shit, then I'll be killing my victim. Roll out of genocide. You love to see that I ain't figure it. Your blood up back, I'm selling up purchasing Prozac and no candy. And my body cigarette, now son. Boycott, don't want bones. Oxygen ultraviolet, I live for a seat. I ain't worshiping Seraphim, so destroy image of all in God conceit. From my face, fuck up. With your bullet, Christianity only want me be weak of discipline. Man's color, I ain't falling down on my knees, no way. I'm living your freak of secrecy. Giving center dance of videos and to close the victuals down to the back. A treatment break like a weed book. So fuck the rituals down to the gang.
We don't want our evil system. Boycott. We don't want our shipple system. Boycott. We don't want our hippie system. Boycott. We don't want our wicked system. Boycott. We don't want our evil system. Boycott. We don't want our shipple system. Boycott. We don't want our hippie system. Boycott. We don't want our wicked system. Boycott. You see now, gotta turn my back on you. Steal from the resources you can't track to choose. Rolled in your shirt sleeve like a pack of cools. When I draw my arm back, I'll be smacking fools. Got no love for elites, they establish rules. Lead a horse to the water, make them drown in pools. I don't know why I bother taking kids to school. Teaching lies after lies every afternoon. Throwing salt on the game like an open wound. Man, it's time to rise up and it's overdue. No gratitude on the news, they do not approve. Just a goon who's a tune I will not consume. I behoove to assume this will not improve. After further review, now I must pursue. Push back on the system, this will not conclude. We expose the corruption, they are not amused. We don't want our evil system. Boycott. We don't want our shipple system. Boycott. We don't want our hippie system. Boycott. We don't want our wicked system. Boycott. We don't want our evil system. Boycott. We don't want our shipple system. Boycott. We don't want our hippie system. Boycott. We don't want our wicked system. Boycott. What's on my mind? It's time to grind the money. I'm type of time, but now my third eye's blind to the end. My state I'm on the floor, I kinda have my brain calcified. And my brain is fossilized, but I survived it. Sirspits, I'm alive. Though by now I know, so was also ostracized by monopolized lives. Eyes to the skies, lies in the clouds rise, and it's not surprising they tried to ride disguise. It's just disgusting, gotta even the odds. Can't keep quiet, we're required to fight it to be requited. Either read them or right to riot. United, not divided, you and I decided we can ride it out and they cannot deny it. Vibrant, vibes of vibranium. Our tribes can try the titans, titanic, titanium. We don't want our evil system. Boycott. We don't want our shipple system. Boycott. We don't want our hippie system. Boycott. We don't want our wicked system. Boycott. We don't want our evil system. Boycott. We don't want our shipple system. Boycott. We don't want our hippie system. Boycott. We don't want our wicked system. Boycott.
Boycott that shit, son.
Yo, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
What's on my mind? It's time to grind. I'm on the Yonkers type of time.
Hey, yo. So listen, I gotta say, Flow.
What's up? What up? Talk to me, bro.
Flow, being from the Northeast, let me know if I'm wrong. Flow is everything.
Hell yeah.
If you ain't got the flow, you ain't hip hop. You rap. You on that rap shit, bro.
Exactly.
Part of that hip hop shit, yo. And like, just everybody on that jump was dope, but it's just when that spits came on, bro. I had to put the cap on, bro. That's all.
Word up. Word. I seen that. I was like, wait, who that? Oh, that's you. I was like, yeah. Red my color too, so you gotta represent that.
Hey, bro.
Like the Chiefs and all that.
Only nigga in LA with the Red Dodgers. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Yo, like I said, I was set tripping out there, bro. I say I was in safe. I was in safe. We out here though.
Hey, nah,
but yo, I'm glad you enjoyed that shit. Like I said, like I mentioned Yonkers in New York, how like I represent them, but I ain't think like them. You know what I'm saying? Like just because the fluoride try to brainwash me and all that. You know what I'm saying? And yo, if you notice, the first thing I said as an ad-lib right before my first started was fuck Mark Zuckerberg, because like that dude be fucking trifling, bro. Like he be doing the most extra shit trying to just make sure my shit is suppressed, bro. And then at the same time, he be like acting like all the other shit he be allowing is so sacred, but it's on some fucking ultra thotty, fucking crazy, petty shit. So it's like he be picking and choosing sides and what to select, like Instagram and TikTok, like, you know what I'm saying, they'll ban my shit, but then they'll you know, show some big booties and fucking shaking and shit, and then act like that's good for children and all that type shit. So it's like they just are afraid of knowledge, and they're afraid of wisdom, and they're afraid of people speaking the truth and denouncing their evil ways of operating and holding us down and controlling us, like I said earlier. So that's why, like I said, like, it's cool to use it, but you gotta just realize, take it for what it is, and realize it's the matrix, and you gotta use it, and can't let that shit use you and control you and manipulate you and shit. That's why I'm from the old days where you could log in and log out type shit and get away from that shit. But a lot of people nowadays don't be logging out. They be fully tapped in all the time, 100%. And that's why they delusional and they're not snapped into reality. And that's why I prefer the real world type shit.
And
that's why.
I love the fact that you said that, man. And I always say that a lot of people that ask me for advice, I'd be like, you know, the game is nothing. The music industry to me is nothing but platforms and perspectives. And you got to be able to have an angle on your platform while conveying your perspective. I totally understand and appreciate where you're coming from with what you're talking about. I want to ask you this, though, with that being said, because you mentioned something specific, and I'm glad that you said that, because again, that's how ahead of your time is.
Yeah,
you knew what my next question was. I want you to explain to you how important is social media to your brand and your success. And you touched on this periodically throughout the whole thing, but I want you to run it down for those that wasn't paying attention at the beginning.
Yeah. But well, like Big L said, I'm so ahead of my time. My parents haven't met yet. But now, like, yeah, like as far as social media, like, and networking, like it's inevitable at this point in time with 2023 and all that. 21st century is like you can't do shit without social media and technology and the matrix and the internet and the smartphone nowadays. You know what I'm saying? That's why people got it glued to them, like me right now. But yeah, like all these black mirrors everywhere is controlling our lives and all that. So like I would say, just like I said, take it with a grain of salt. Just use it for what it's intended to be used for. Like I said, like just like America and like money and all that stuff, like all the shit that was intended to be created for was more honorable than how it ended up being used for. So like the way that everything being corrupted, like you got to go back to the essence and the origin and on some organic shit and be like, yo, what was the actual meaning of social media and social networking? Like what was it meant for? It's for actually social networking and social and using media online and networking and gathering ideas and sharing and sending ideas. So that's exactly what I've been doing. Like I don't be like on there gossiping and posting pictures of my cat all day. Like I just be like making biz and hustling on there and networking and making real moves, just like I would be. Like so social media should be is nothing more than what you would be doing if you could actually make it to those places, but you just can't make it to those places because they're so far away. So otherwise you would just get up and go there. But you know what I'm saying, a lot of people live so far away, you gotta just make it happen, you know what I'm saying, online. It's more convenient nowadays. That's what I'm saying. Some people go too extreme and they do everything on there and they never step outside. So that's why, like, to me, it's more moderation. Like, you still got to go outside and do it the old-fashioned way, and still got to go out and mingle and fucking. I still pass out flyers and cards and shit, and still show face. And like some people are too scared, like they're fucking keyboard warriors online, but then they're too scared to go outside and actually perform, or even like just do some street hustling and fucking do a street team type shit and just do some promotion on the streets. So that's why, like, to me, like, to answer your question, sum that shit up, like, it's definitely essential at this time to compete, be competitive and be heard and be exposed. No homo, but like, don't go too overboard with it and like start buying, you know, bots and trolls and try to suppress other people's shit with your paid promotions and shit, because like that's another form of quid pro quo and just buying into the system and just basically bribing them to try to help you out. Meanwhile, they're still not even going to help you out because someone else is paying them even more to get their link even on top of your shit. So that's why, like, music is kind of inundated right now, just like everything else. The population is crazy, but that's why if you want to get heard, I think you asked that before, like, you got to definitely stand out and just be your own person and be original and versatile. And that's how you could definitely, stand out from the crowd and, get your way to the top instead of, being stuck, with a whole bunch of other people doing the same exact shit that everyone else is doing. Because that seems like it's the new wave these days. The new generation wants to follow these waves and these gimmicks and shit and ride them and cloud chase. And like, to me, like, if you just copy someone, you're not going to be as good as the original person. You're only be second best type shit. So it's like, I'm trying to be the very best, like Ash Ketchum, Pokemon shit. Nah, but like, so like when it comes to bars and rap, I take it to the next level, and like no one could do my style. You know what I'm saying? Like my shit is my shit, and that's it. So it's like that's why like I don't got to worry about someone biting my style, because they couldn't even bite it if they tried. So that's why like all these like lames who got like ABC, basic raps and bars, like they got to worry about that, because like anyone could do that shit. So they shouldn't be discouraged. They should take that as an incentive to step up their level of bars, and, what I'm saying, take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? That's what gave me inspiration, and just trying to outdo the next MC or trying to get on the same level as, my favorite MC at the time.
Right. And you said it best.
Sir.
You said it best, and I love how you put your words together with that, man. Listen, like I said, we're dangerously close to time. I definitely want to bring you back for a round 2. So you're definitely invited.
Time flies when you're having fun. Now it's gonna be round 3, actually. Round 3 in the building.
You can round 5 as far as I'm concerned, bro. You're part of the beat club as far as I'm concerned, bro. So you
what up? You gotta have me live. You gotta allow me live and in person. We have the live on the West Coast. We got to meet in the Midwest now.
We can work that. You already know it's in the fight. So it shows I'm standing here for sure. I got 2 more questions, and then we're gonna wrap up. First question. Yeah, this is a quasi important question. How or what advice do you have? I said how. What advice do you have for any aspiring talent, young entrepreneurs and young international recording artists, young people that's just trying to find the kind of juice you got? What advice you got for the young people behind you, or maybe not even young people that just ain't on, that just really just aspiring and trying to find their lane, like how you are leading?
I got you. Yeah, we all litty out here. It's all good. Nah, like definitely, as I mentioned, definitely stand out as much as possible, because with so many people trying to do the same thing, you got to be the one that's doing something different. Like if everyone's trying to fit in, then how you gonna stand out? You know what I'm saying? So you got to stand out, and then you're gonna be seen. Like someone, my colleague who actually I met out on the West Coast, he does like seminars and shit, and he was trying to tell people how to get a better presence on social media, and his main theme was like, his metaphor was like, if you have a whole bunch of yellow ducks and all shit, how you gonna stand out? You have to be like a blue duck or a red duck type shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So like that's been my methodology all along, even without even thinking about it, just trying to do my own thing. Because like I said, I'm from that essence where the old school era, like it was corny to bite other people. Like I said, now it's the new generation is just different. It's like everything changed, like the tide had turned, the tables have turned and all that. Like the new generation loves cloud chasing and loves biting each other's styles and like riding waves and stuff. Like back in the day, that was considered corny and whack, and like you was a buster if you did that, and you was a wankster and all that. So I'm trying to bring that old school shit back. So like I'm my own fucking style, I'm my own entity. Like I said, I'm my MC. I move the crowd with my energy and all that. Like I'm just, like I said, like I'm the best of both worlds, where I'm cut from the old school cloth, but I also got the modern, bars and modern intelligence and modern vibes attached to the old school essence type shit.
I'm with it. And I could have said it better, man. And I'm glad that you put it in the perspective in the way that you put it. The last and most important question before we get you out, well, it's actually 1.5 questions, but this one is the most important one of all of them. How can people learn more about you? How can they reach out to you? How can they sync up with you? How can they follow you? Just how can they learn more about you, man? How can they reach out to you?
I bet, yeah. So definitely, if you want everything, because Dojo, like I said, the discography is deep as hell. So if you go to dojohiphop.com, like I got literally all our releases on there for the past like 5-10 years type shit on there. So like, but some people think that's too much to go through. Like, so as a curated method, I only have a handful of those streaming at the moment, like the best of the best, the ones that are more radio friendly. And because even though like I'm I've learned, like I said, I started off more raw, and then I've learned to maintain the rawness and the lyricalness, but also maintaining a polished essence as well. So like now, I just focus on radio hits and radio play, but also not trying to sell out either on some, soft, pop shit either. Like I'm trying to have like an old school radio track, like Golden Era and Open Eyes. Those two tracks that I dropped for New Year's, like those are both dope ass tracks. One's more modern and one's more classic, but they're both equally dope, and both featuring artists from overseas and local. So that's what I'm saying. Like I focus on that. So Dojo Hip Hop is the best place to get all my shit. My EPK is on there, my electronic press kit. But if you want it more curated, just go on Apple, go on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? Go on the popular streaming platforms like Tidal. And Bandcamp, like I said, is one of my favorites because there's like barely any ads. It's just more straightforward. Click if you want to play it, and also click somewhere else if you want to buy it and download it. Because like I'm old school, like I said, so like I'm not really with the streaming shit. So even though a lot of my shit is on the streaming shit, I prefer to download and shit. So you know what I'm saying? I was thinking about probably in the near future, I'm probably gonna have like a download section on my Dojo Hip Hop page where you can just download the whole catalog at one point. But I'm gonna probably drop some mixtapes and CDs first before I do that, and do something like that. But yeah, that's to answer my question as far as my material, and then to get in touch with me specifically, to like DM me or some shit like that. Definitely Instagram I feel like is the easiest place because like it's not inundated with spam too much like Facebook is, and fucking bots too much. Like it is a little bit recently, the past a couple months, but it's still not as bad as all the bullshit that's on Facebook. So just my sirspits, it's my name at sirspits, and also at Dojo Hip Hop if you need promotion. You know what I'm saying? And just want to hear all those dojo jams, go to Dojo Hip Hop. But Instagram, I'm everywhere, bro. Streaming everywhere. They ain't gonna stop me or boycott me. I'm gonna make it, bro. I'm gonna progress through all that perseverance. Shout out to Percy P. Like I said, Dojo fam, we out here. Sir Spitz Dojo.
Hey. So, like I said, I got a half question for you, and I just want to give you this time. Shout everybody out. Shout out the people that you want to shout out, and for supporting you, that you just want to big up. All
right, well, that's probably gonna be a minimal list because, like I said, there's still a lot of haters out here. Don't get me wrong. So definitely the Dojo fam and all that. My homie Kevin Ventures, Rizzo Mercer. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the artists I've been working with recently, overseas and international, and local artists. Like I said, there's 2 tracks that just came out. Open Eyes. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Humble Lunatic and Dead Heat. He produced that shit. They're local over here in New Rochelle. That's like 10 minutes away from my spot over here in Yonkers. And then I got the what's it called, Golden Era, and then that's with the homie Word Slay. He from Nigeria. So that's me, him, and then I got the homie Master Inferno from Canada on that joint as well. So it's like a trifecta joint of 3 different continents type shit, which is crazy. Okay. So I'm saying, that's what I do as far as that. So to answer your question, I just be everywhere type shit, and that's what I be doing. So to that, so shout out to all those dudes, and Omega Jackson, who produced my last CD, and shout out to all the future Dojo fam that gonna hear my new shit and fall in love with all the Dojo old classic hits as well as the modern joints as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to start a new Dojo fan movement type shit because to me, what I'm saying, like Wu-Tang, like we're trying to be the new Wu type shit, like Dojo, what I'm saying? Because Wu-Tang's for everybody. I mean, Wu-Tang's for the children, but Dojo fam's for everybody. My fault, I'm lit. Let me get that straight. I said Wu-Tang is for the children, right? But Dojo Hip Hop is for everybody. Get that straight. I'm gonna have to get like a book, like a bumper sticker or some shit. Make that shit. But yeah, I'm zooted. I need some sleep and shit. It's getting late over here. We on some East Coast time and shit. Yeah. But yeah, we out here.
Well, I appreciate you, Spitz. I appreciate Represent. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Follow Sir Spitz on social media. Same thing, Dojo at Dojo Hip Hop, dojohiphop.com. Make sure y'all like.
Yes, sir.
Follow. Spitz, give me 5 minutes after we offline so that we can just button down, and then we can start strategizing for the next time we're gonna bring you on, which will be soon. So
got you.
My man, we are where we at. Thank you so much for joining us, and I appreciate you. And
you already know. Represent. Dojo in the building.
Hey, like I said, man, I'm Donnie B. Got the beats. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all. And like I said, this brother wraps up our season 6. We're gonna start strong with season 7 quickly. In fact, tomorrow.
You know, I gotta be on season 7.
Oh, well, you're gonna be in season 7, 8.
That's my number right there. I had to bring in season 7. Maybe I'll bring out season 7. Fuck it.
All right, what is it? Hey, the world is your oyster when it comes to that. Season 7 is however you want to lay it out. We're gonna do that. Tomorrow we got 8-Bit J. No, sorry, 8-Bit J is this coming Sunday. We have Sin City Cairo, another brother I met at the same time. I met this brother right here. So it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe, follow us on all social media. I am Donnie B. Got the Beats. You can follow us at The Beat TV LA on all social media. Every brand that's out there. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, you name it. We out there.
We in the matrix, kid.
Exactly, man. If you don't know it, Google it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So that is what it is. Nonetheless, season 7 on tomorrow. I'm excited. Thank you, brother. Spitz, we're gonna have you back. Get, like I said, hang tight. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Follow that man right here. And with that being said, we out, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
Peace.
Donnie B. Got